board meeting of the Park District of Highland Park is hereby called to order at 6:02 p.m., Tuesday, April 5th, 2016. Somebody want to get the door?
Yeah.
Let's turn off our phones.
Here at Westridge
lady.
Center.
Let's check it.
We have two meetings tonight. This is our regular meeting, and then after this, we'll be having our workshop meeting. Could we please call the roll?
Commissioner Bernstein.
Here.
Commissioner Flores-Weiskopf.
Here.
Commissioner Kaplan.
Here.
Vice President Ruttenberg.
Here.
President Myers.
And I'm here as well. Good to see everybody again. It seems like it's been a long time, the way we've wound up with our schedule, so good to have everyone back. I hope everyone had a good vacation to the extent you were all on the road. Good to see you all again, too. Any requests from any of the commissioners for additions to our agenda this evening? Okay. Is there any comments from the public on any of the items on our agenda? Seeing no hands, we'll move on to our next item of business, which is our consent agenda. You see items A through H, which have either previously been discussed at prior meetings or included in the board packets that everyone was provided prior to this evening's meeting. Could I please get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll give it to you.
Wait a second.
So move.
Motion and a second.
Whatever.
Could we call the roll?
Commissioner Bernstein.
See.
Commissioner Flores-Weiskopf.
Aye.
Commissioner Kaplan.
Yes.
Vice President Ruttenberg.
Yes.
President Myers.
We.
Can we note that that was probably the Italian C?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
And then the French pulled up at the end.
I believe that means we pass, at least in several languages, so the motion is carried. We have no unfinished business tonight, so that brings us to our treasurer's report. Director Curtis, nice to see you again.
The financial information in the board packet was for the month of February, so again, not a whole lot of activity as it's only the second month of the year, but I just would like to note that the bond proceeds were budgeted to be received in February. The actual sale was completed in March 17th. We've been through that. I know you all know that. But I just want to point it out again. So February's overall revenue is understated by $3 million compared to the budget just because of that timing. So when you look at it at first glance, you kind of think, oh, what's wrong? And it's simply the timing of the bond proceeds. Overall, operations is doing really well. It is over budget by $879,000, and it's even greater than the prior year. Mostly, this is due to timing, as camp registration and the memberships to Sunset Valley were received earlier than budgeted. So, just a nice strong start to our 2016. The other thing that I'd like to note is the audit will be beginning on April 11th, so next week. Financial information, like preliminary, pre-audited, but I'm considering them kind of final numbers at this point. Liza and Kathy have reviewed those year-end numbers, and by the end of the week, I'll have reviewed the numbers with each of the department heads. Seeing as this is the beginning of the second quarter, management is going to have an opportunity to adjust 2016's activity based on the financial information that they'll be reviewing. So I think this puts them in a good place for starting out their summer and fall seasons. Other than that, I don't have much to report.
Great. And so in context, when operations are over budget, that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Because we have more money than we thought.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes it really is just timing based on the way the budgeting is done. So.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay.
I do have just a quick question. Receipt of the bond proceeds the month later doesn't impact any of our spending plans, what did it?
Oh, no. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No, we're working on a spend down schedule was developed, and we'll be following that. The bond proceeds were invested in CDs that will be maturing at the proper intervals, so we should have enough funds to work through that pay down schedule.
Thanks.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Brings us to new business, our director's report. Liza.
A couple of things, but before we do that, I am going to have two of our staff come up and address the board first, or I should say our leadoff hitter is Chris Maluski. I'll get there.
Just say Chris.
Chris. I'll call him Chris M. He's Mr. Baseball, but Chris is here to talk about a special event that we have planned this spring that will benefit our Smile program. And he is Mr. Well, maybe next to Cal and Brian. He's
That's
Mr.
right.
Baseball.
I have competition. So good evening, everyone. How are you? So very fitting with opening day having been yesterday, and I know we have several Cub fans in attendance.
Not all.
Not all, myself included. No booing or hissing, please. But so on Monday, May 2nd, at the Highland Park Country Club, we're having what we're tabbing as the Champions Banquet, which is going to be a celebration of youth athletics in the Highland Park community, as well as a fundraiser for our Smile Scholarship Fund. We have several great activities planned for the evening, one of which is keynote speaker and Chicago Cub Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins.
Couldn't find a White Sox player, huh?
I tried really hard.
I don't know if there's any Hall of Famers.
Hey. I knew I was in for it. I knew I was in for it. So, in addition to having Fergie there, we're also going to have Notre Dame alum in 1953 Heisman Trophy winners, actual Heisman Trophy, Johnny Latner. His family is not donated, but allowed for us to have his Heisman Trophy in attendance for folks to take pictures with and do with whatever they wish for the short time being. We also have several really outstanding silent and live auction items for participants to bid on, of course, of which 100% of the proceeds will benefit the Smile Fund as well. We're really excited about it. Tickets are now on sale to the general public. I also hope that each and every one of our commissioners will be present. And if you choose to do so, just please let Liza know so that way we can plan accordingly. And from there, we're really looking forward to it. I actually had a conference call with Fergie today and a gentleman from the Highland Park Landmark. And he tried like heck to bait Fergie into saying the Cubs are going to win the World Series this year, but he didn't bite. So he didn't bite. But we're excited for it. I hope everyone can make it. And we'll see you then.
That's great.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, and I guess we'll say batting second, although I'm not sure that baseball is her thing. But I'd like to introduce Amalia Schwartz. Amalia has been with us for a couple of months now, and she is working in the planning department as a senior planner. So I asked if we could put her on the spot tonight and have her come up and say a few words. She'll be leaving us with Rick and Cal eventually to attend the pre-application meeting at the City of Highland Park for the Golf and Park building. So, Amalia.
Thanks, Liza. Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I think I've met most of you. A little bit about me. I am coming from the Chicago Park District. I have my master's degree in urban planning. I was excited to join the Park District of Highland Park. I grew up in the North Shore, so it felt like coming home. And so far, it's been great. The team is amazing. It's a very team-oriented environment, which I'm really enjoying. And I'm just hit the ground running, working on projects, Greenprint, the park maintenance building. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to all the projects in the future with Greenprint.
Fantastic. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you. You saw Greenprint. We have a few things for you to do.
Yes. Yeah.
She did hit the ground running.
Yeah. Great. And
So
good
are
luck.
you a Cubs fan or a Sox fan or neither? Or maybe a Cardinal fan?
That would be really bad.
I like to go to Cubs games. I'm not really into baseball, so I enjoy the game.
And that's better than being a Cardinal fan.
We have time to work on that.
Okay. Well, we'll shift gears now. Just a couple of things that I want to note, and you have at least one of them at your table. So Rosewood Beach is continuing to get accolades in magazines, and we are up for a couple of more awards. But this month in Land and Water magazine, there's a really nice article on Rosewood. I put a copy at all of your places. So that is some nice publicity for Rosewood. And this is the April edition of the Chicago Magazine, and they always feature a community, and it's called 312, even though we're 847. But they talk about places to shop and dine and things to see. And in the things to see column, there are 5 things to see in Highland Park that are noteworthy. 2 of the 5 are operated by the Park District of Highland Park. 1 would be the Heller Nature Center, and 2 would be the Rosewood Beach.
Nice.
So Rick and I are going downtown next week with W.B. Olson and Woodhouse Tanucci for, we are a finalist for the Chicago Builders Association Award. And there is also a Landscape Architect Award that Rosewood is up for. We have not officially won yet, but we are in process. So, that's going to continue to ride a very popular wave. Also coming up early next month is the IAPD. This is the legislative reception and conference that takes place in Springfield. We have this at your places as well, so if any of you would like to go, if you could get back to me next week, we will plan accordingly, but that is a road trip to Springfield, Illinois. So that takes care of that business. And on other notes, I am happy to report that Sunset Valley, we are on pace to, we anticipate, well, now that it's over, this is a little bit of an older report since we didn't meet at the end of March, but we had close to 1,000 rounds in March. And last year, same time, we had 253 rounds. So that's a nice start for the golf course. On the flip side, we always do an early bird membership program for Hidden Creek, and we are 50 passes short of sales last year. So hopefully we will get some weather that will draw people to come and purchase passes for the Aqua Park. Camp registration is pretty much on par with where we were last year, which is good. There is so much competition out there that anytime we can maintain or increase, that's always very favorable. And then just a couple of items of note. We had a new event this year. We had a breakfast with the bunny. Gosh, it seems like that was months ago, but it was in mid-March, and we had about 120 parents and children come and have breakfast with the bunny, which was pre the egg hunt, which is always a very popular event, although extremely muddy this year. And then Chris referenced the Champions Banquet, which deals with Smile. And then we also are trying to do a little bit more work to promote Smile and get more donations for Smile. And it is Chow Down for Smile on April 14th at Potbelly Sandwich Shop. So 25% of all sales will be donated to our Smile Fund. So we are working with some of area restaurants to try and boost our funds for that, because we issue probably over about $120,000 annually, I believe, in scholarships, and the Smile Fund generates, I think, about $40,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we're really working hard on promoting that, and as we gear up with our Parks Foundation, the two will come together very nicely. So that is the director's report. If you have any questions.
Nice report. Any questions from the board? Do we think perhaps the blizzard was a factor in our early bird sales for?
Which one? Yeah, it's weather usually does dictate what happens with pass sales out of the gate. You get nice, warm, sunny spring days, and people are thinking about the pool, but we haven't had much of that.
Not so much.
But they were golfing, so that's a plus.
All right. That concludes our new business. Open to the public now to address the board on any topic of interest. Again, no takers, which is fine. So, can I get a motion to adjourn our regular meeting, remembering that afterwards we will move into our workshop meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. We are adjourned